Welcome back to Saturday Sport Classified. Sam Spooner is with us now. Let's get the right mic for you. There you go, Sam. Faster mic. Good evening.
Good evening.
And, what's been going on in the hockey today then? What's stood out for you? We'll start with the Men's Premier League. We've got three results here. Backersay 4, Ramsey 2, Valkyries 1, Backersby 9, and Vikings 7, Vikings 0.
Just a quick correction. It was Valkyries 9, Backersby 1. Those scores are the wrong way round.
Very sorry about that. Flipping heck.
I think Backersay started off the day against Ramsey in the Premier League today, and they were expecting a hard game, but I think they probably expected to come away with a win, and they probably wanted a few more goals on the board as well. When I turned up at the game, it was 2-1 to Backersay, and Ramsey looked good for another goal going forward, but they just couldn't quite find it. Then Jamie Brown got a yellow card. I'm unsure what for, which meant 10 minutes in the sin bin. Ramsey weren't able to threaten during that period, and then Backers seemed to cement their position in the game with another goal, well-taken goal from Johnny Callow, at which point Ramsey suddenly lit up and ran up the other end and scored, and it really looked like it was going to be a really tight finish to the end. Then Andy Whiting came up at the end to complete his hat-trick and just getting the win under the belt there. Backers did well. Ramsey have to be really proud of themselves as well. Going forward, they looked very, 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 very good. Valkyries massive win this week. They wanted to go out and prove a point after last week's loss to Ramsey 9-1 against Backersby. Goal scorers for Valkyries there was a hat-trick for Ollie Webster, and Ben Stevenson got 2. Tim Stevenson, Chris Caldwell, Chris Killier and Louis Novo-Smith all at once, so sharing the goals out quite well there. Backersby goal scorers Craig Lees.
And the final one, Vikings 7, Vikings 0.
Yeah, this one, Vikings are always going out for goal difference here. Vikings B are a little bit in danger of becoming the whipping boys of the league. They aren't able to pull from the team below quite as much as they would like to. But they are bringing some juniors through. They're bringing some new faces in this week, and they thought they may be able to attack a bit more. It didn't turn out that way. Vikings were really, really skillful going forward. It seems to me that they have a connection and understanding going forward. They know where each other is, and they wanted more. Vikings B made it very difficult for them, but Alex Birch got 2, Tom Wilson got 2, Tim Henderson, Stephen Underwood and Danny Hamill got 1 each to put them top of the league.
PWC Men's Division 1, we've got the final score that we were waiting for just come through now, thanks to Chris Cave for sending it through. You'll know why he's wanted to send it through in a minute as well. Harlequins 8, Valkyries B 1. Quins scorers George Ratcliffe with 2, Nick Hamer with 1, Matt Davin with 1, Pete Nuttall with 1, Shay Christensen with 1, and last but not least, Chris Cave himself, Captain Caveman, with 2. So a good win for Harlequins A there.
Let's not talk about him too much.
That's true, actually, yeah. Saracens A7, Backers Colts 0, and Castletown A5, Vikings C4. Those are the results today.
Yeah, I'll take Saracens A, Backers Colts first. Saracens A, they lost out last week, but they really turned up the style this week. Stephen Cottier, he just doesn't seem to grow any older. He scored 2. George Powell, captain, got 2. And then very good young players coming through. Scott Mason, Thomas Roberts and Finbar Sampson all with 1 each there. It was 2-0 at half-time. Backers Colts seem to be struggling more and more in this league, which is unfortunate. They've always seemed to have competed in this league. So hopefully next week they can bring some of those youth players through again and start competing. The big game of the day, though, in PWC Men's Division 1, Castown A, Vikings C. This was the title challenge and a title battle here. It was 3-1 at half-time to Castown A. And then Vikings seemed to pull it back. That being said, Castown A I said they were probably going to be the team to beat. And I didn't think with the players they had missing, Vikings C would be able to give them so much of a challenge as they have. Final score 5-4 to Castown A. Goal scorers Castown with Don Stewart, Stevie Ronan, Rich Tarr, Christian Stereopoulos and Robin Mason all with 1. So again, sharing out the goals for that team there. Vikings C, Ash Dougal with a well-taken hat-trick and Nate Evans.
PWC Men's Division 2, we've got one of the results here. Do you have both, Sam?
I don't have both, no. We're still waiting for Saracens B, Ramsey B, if possible,
okay,
please.
166, 177, please, for that match. But otherwise, it was Backers C 8, Harlequins B 1.
Yeah, it was. I don't have Backers C goal scorers, but Ewan Wiley got the solo goal for Harlequins B there.
And apparently they played with 9 men all game because of injuries and illness.
Yeah, so that's a really good effort there. To even get a goal in that game is a fantastic effort.
Exactly. Let's put that result into context for them. Women's Premier League, we have Valkyries A5, Harlequins A2, Castletown A1, Backers A6, and you've got the Vikings result.
Yeah.
Was it 8-0 to Vikings?
Vikings A, Ramsey A was 8-0 to Vikings. So, yeah, Ramsey A last week, they did well to claim a draw against Backers A. Charlotte Oldfield was playing last week. And Vori was back from university to playing goals, and that gave him a really good start, sort of backline to sort of go forward and a platform to move forward. This week, though, it seems they were missing that, and Vikings really dominated from start to finish. 4-0 first half, finished off another 4 goals in the second half to really sort of push further for that title win. Kim Carney got 2, Georgia Foxton got 2, Lou Slater got 2, Zoe Crow got 1, and the final goal scorer is Sarah Blackman. So that really cements their position at the top of the league. Goal difference is going to be huge compared to the teams as well. That being said, Backers A made a really good recovery from last week with a really well taken 6-1 win. From what I hear, Catherine Crane's goal was an absolute screamer, top corner finish, and surprised everybody on the pitch. So really well done to Catherine there. Sophie Hudson got 2, Ellie Pearson got 1, Emma Lehman got 1, and Freya Dushaw's got 1 as well for Backers A, just to keep that title push going. Castan A's goal scorer is Kate Nicholson.
And it was 1-1 in the second half as well. It was 5-0 half time.
So Castan did really well in that second half.
Very well in the second half. Valkyries A, Harlequins A. That was the 5-2 game as well. PWC Women's Division 1. We've got all the results here. Castletown B 1, Valkyries B 2. Sam?
Yeah, that was, again, it was a really close game. Castletown B are competing in every game they play in. Glesney Corney got the goal for Castletown B, and Valkyries B was Megan Kelly and Anna Dawson.
Harlequins B 3, Saracens A 5.
Yeah, I haven't got the Saracens got A goal scorers as yet, but the Harlequins B goal scorers apparently did, from what I hear, Ali Middleton, Sandra Wrigley, and Lucy Logan. But from what I hear, Harlequins did incredibly well to get back into the game. It went back to 3-3 after being 3-0 down before Saracens sort of pushed off towards the end there.
A draw, Ramsey B 1, Valkyries C 1.
Yeah, Ramsey B have really surprised me this year. I thought they were my tip for sort of fighting for the league title, but Valkyries C, you can't knock them. They've done really, really well to get a result out of that. Ramsey B's goal scorer is Becky Weimar, but I haven't unfortunately got a Valkyries C goal scorer.
And finally, Vikings B 1, Backers Colts 2.
Yeah, this one was the game I went to today as well. I said this one was going to be a game of the day, and it really, really was. It was a real physical game, which I didn't expect to see. But Vikings B went 1-0 down in the first half. Early in the second half, they brought it back to 1-1. But almost immediately after Vikings scored that goal, Backers got another one, with Bobby Hemsel scoring 2 and 2 there, and Mel Schick scoring 1 for Vikings B. That being said, Vikings B had all the pressure in the last 5-10 minutes, but they just could not quite find that finish.
Just had another score through. Thank you very much for this. It was Ramsey B. This is in Men's Division 2. Ramsey B 4, Saracens B 0. Goal scorers for Ramsey were Paul Hunter, Daniel Hurd, Thomas Hurd, and James Aitchison. So thank you very much for sending that through. And it was 2-0 to Ramsey B at half time.